Houston. Houston, we have a problem. DJ Apollo has landed. I repeat, DJ Apollo has landed at Hipmix 88.9 WEIU.
Welcome to the Tales of Music and Film podcast. I am DJ Apollo, and I'm joined by
Aiden.
And I have a new guest on. This is his very first time being on the show. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, first of all, I want to say thanks so much for having me, guys. Do I have to lean into this mic?
Oh, you're fine. You're good. You got about a good hand's length to it, so it should be just fine.
Sweet. Yeah, so I'm Will Simmons, and I don't know, I rule, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Well, wearing that jacket and t-shirt, yeah, you look great.
Wait, how are you so far away from the mic? And I'm like super close.
Oh, because he adjusted it to me.
Man, that's...
Yeah, like literally with I had to learn this the hard way, but it's like with Aiden, I literally have to turn his all the way up. He gets all relaxed in his
seat. I'm
seat.
not going to sit in here for an hour talking about a movie without being comfortable.
Right, yeah,
Like,
so...
the same thing in our room, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but today I'm very excited because the movie we are discussing is a scary movie classic from the late 90s, because for the whole month of October, I'll be reviewing nothing but scary movies to celebrate Halloween. It's DJ Apollo's Tales of Music and Film, a Halloween special, if you will, and we are kickstarting this whole thing with Scream, the 96 classic that's over 25 years old, and the franchise was just revived earlier this year with Scream 5, and we have Scream 6 on the way, coming out in March of next year, so I can't think of a better time to talk about the movie that started this whole franchise. So I grabbed the bad guys. I gotta ask you, it's like, how were you introduced to this classic?
Will, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Well, I gotta tell you guys, DJ Apollo, Aiden, I'm a huge horror fan, so introduction to Scream, I mean, I don't remember when I saw it, but I remember it being just different from all the other things I've seen, so it's always stuck out in my mind. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and I was kind of, because my story, so here, I'll give you an example, Will. So I was introduced to Scream from my mom. I was around 13 years old when I saw it for the very first time.
Time. Your mother is the one who introduces you to horror movies.
Yeah, basically.
Cool
yeah.
mom alert.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool mom alert.
Oh, my mom's awesome. If you guys met her, she is like the coolest lady I know. She's awesome. And she's big into like 80s and 90s films, like her favorite stuff, like she got me into the Scream movies, Buffy, like the late 90s stuff. So anyway, I was around 13, right? And she told me about Scream. Her and I actually watched it together. We watched all of them. And my favorite memory, I'm not kidding you, this is what she told me to convince me to watch Scream. Don't worry, it's not that violent.
Not that violent.
Within the first 10 minutes, Blondie watches her boyfriend get his stomach cut wide open. Like,
And then
so,
she gets hung from a tree.
And yeah, she's hung from a tree with a phone cord. So it's like, Mom, you were saying about tonight? It's so violent.
Well, like relative to Hostel or something. No, maybe not even that. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Or even if you compare it to other films that came out like in the 60s and 70s, like the original Texas Chainsaw.
True.
Halloween, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Well, isn't it like... Isn't it... I don't know. I feel like they're allowed to do whatever they want in that because it was sort of a new premise,
it was a new
precedent,
take,
right?
with it being much more meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a question for you. So everybody always uses that word meta when talking about this movie. Like, what does that mean exactly?
Oh, thank you, DJ Apollo. I want to know too. So, Aiden?
Okay, so meta is basically like it's very self-aware of what it is. Like take like in the Deadpool movies or anything where he's breaking the fourth wall. That's a meta approach. But in the case of something like this, like they're acknowledging horror movies exist in their world, and they're following the tropes of a horror movie to stay alive, or the series of events that are going on in the film.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes to where they reference things that happen, like the rules of how to survive a horror movie and the final jump scare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true. Because there's scary movie references all throughout this movie. Because the killer, Ghostface, what he does is, right, with his victims, he calls them, stalks them from a distance, and asks them a series of questions regarding famous horror movies. Like I remember at the beginning of this one, the very first victim, played by Drew Barrymore. She was 20 years old when they filmed this, by the way. Dude, I didn't realize she was that young.
Well,
And
she's meant to be playing a teenager. What do you expect?
yeah, and so her character, her name is Casey Becker, and she's the very first victim in this franchise. And the very first question Ghostface asks her when he calls her is, man, it's been a hot minute since I've seen it last.
Who's the killer from Halloween?
Oh, yeah, that's right. And I think when things get serious, when he starts telling her, like, I have your boyfriend or whatever, she's like, oh, call my boyfriend. He's like, his name doesn't happen to be... like.
Well, there's a lot more to that, but are we trying to do scene-by-scene analysis?
But hold on, gentlemen. I think, do you have a statistician or a fact checker in here?
No, I don't.
But I believe that his very first question is, what's your favorite scary movie?
Yeah, that's the very first.
No, the very first question that he asks in the whole conversation is, who is this?
Okay.
Yeah,
It's just, where are we starting from, where like the sinister call takes...
Aiden, you're so meta. Wait,
Yeah.
Does that work?
Honestly,
it works.
no, that meta would be I'm self-aware. This is just I'm a nerd.
Well, I tried.
Yeah, so I mean, with my show, when I do these movies, I just like hearing what people like about them. I don't do like a cover of the whole thing. I just like talking about my favorite scenes. But like the overall story for this is that there's two. Well, actually, we were led to believe there's only one killer in this story, right? And they're going around.
Spoilers!
I know. We're led to believe there's only one killer going around and killing its victims with a set of horror movie questions, and we have no idea who it is because they're using a voice changer so they sound deeper. So
those things actually exist, though, by the way?
Yes, they actually do. They're, I don't know exactly what they're called, but they're pretty cheap. It's basically just like a microphone and a speaker, and it just discombobulates the voice going through. Like, did you ever see, like, I remember I had a toy like that when I was a kid, that there was just like a loudspeaker, and you'd speak into it, and it would distort your voice. Same principle, just in terms of this one, it's much more precise to just lower the voice down a frequency.
Right.
And they have it built into a mask, so their voice is muffled, so it more sounds like a natural voice.
Yeah. Have you guys considered doing an entire podcast with some of those?
If we have the equipment, I would love to use those.
Dude, I'm such a huge nerd. I'd be so down to do that, like 100%. And while we're on the
and just
topic,
say we kidnapped you.
Yeah. Like, honestly though, can you imagine, right? It's like
Halloween nights.
It's like I'll pretend that I'm like tied up in the background. You guys like took over the show or something. It's like this episode, DJ Apollo will not be here. We'll be taking over for him today.
And we just have you in the back of the studio, just going, help me!
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. And while we're on the subject of the Ghostface voice, he was voiced brilliantly by Roger L. Jackson. Dude, the way he brings this character to life with his voice work is so cool. Like, hello, Sydney. It's just, it's so menacing. I love it.
It's iconic.
It's so iconic.
And it's also a really good way they use to cover up who the identities of the killers are, as there's nothing identifying about him. The voice isn't of the either two actors who are take on the Ghostface persona. And then with his cloak, gloves, and mask, you can't see anything of his body figure. The only thing you can make out is that he is male.
Yeah, exactly. And this movie was brilliantly directed by the late great Wes Craven. He is missed. He passed away in 2015, and he made so many amazing films. He was actually, I didn't know this till like last year, he directed the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I had no idea.
How did you never know that Wes Craven directed that?
I think it's like on the cover.
Yeah, it is literally on the cover, Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, well.
Easy to miss, maybe, Chris.
Well, yeah, I mean, I mean, I miss some details now and then.
Sorry, it's just like it's the way I refer to since they made the remake in 2013 of Nightmare on Elm Street. So you can always distinguish it as just like Nightmare on Elm Street when people just go original or remake. So I just say Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street, so then they always know I am talking about the original.
Right.
But then on that subject of that, just while I have there, the reboot was not terrible. It still had some really good scares in there. But was it as good as the original? Not even close.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this. Like you see, I heard the original is like lightning in a bottle. It's like trying to remake like Jaws or something. It's like you just can't recapture what that film did.
Don't
It's
forget
impossible.
they made sequels to Jaws.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. Anyway,
that's a later episode.
that could be a later topic. And with Scream, this movie was a huge success. It grossed $173 million.
On a budget of what?
And the budget for it, actually, let's take a look here. Let's see. The budget for the first film was $15 million. So it made its money back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just a little bit. Just
Man,
a little
for
bit.
like a horror film too, that's insane.
Oh yeah,
right?
especially like nowadays. Like, could you pull up the opening weekend numbers for Smile, the new horror movie that just came out from Blumhouse?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. So, Smile, let's see.
Well,
what
that was
is the-
streaming though. I mean,
No, it has a theatrical release.
but is that the Ethan Hawke one?
No.
What's
That was the Black Phone.
Oh yeah. My
So yeah,
bad.
that's why I'm not bringing that
Right,
one up
right,
because
right.
that one went straight to streaming.
Uh,
and go
So
ahead.
Smile right now has it's opened with $22 million.
Still, that's still pretty good for horror movies because nowadays horror movies aren't as mainstream anymore, and most mainstream ones aren't even that good.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, though, I gotta be honest though, my favorite part about this movie is the cast. Like, dude, everybody who's in this are so iconic. The legendary '90s Queen Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta, guys.
Yeah, he's a simp.
Yeah.
He is 100%.
Oh,
a
come
simp.
on! You can't do that to me on my show.
Then you can stop inviting me.
Whoa.
Yikes.
No,
I'm
you
a-
know when you do movies, you need me here.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, Nev Campbell, I have the biggest crush on her. Every time I watch these movies, just Nev is amazing. She's the best part, man. She's the Jamie Lee Curtis from Halloween. Like, this is her franchise. Like, she's so amazing. And like Matthew Leonard is an icon in this.
Which
Yeah.
one's that?
That was Stu, the second killer. So
The goofy looking dude.
yep.
Yeah,
yeah.
who played Shaggy.
Shaggy
Right,
in
right, right,
Scooby-Doo.
And
Why'd
I-
you point at me, DJ Apollo?
Oh, you're a horror movie fan, aren't you supposed
Oh, I
to
thought you
know?
were saying I look like Shaggy. Never mind.
No, dude. I'm sorry. You gotta get rid
Like-
of all of this.
Zoinks.
Yeah, no, you gotta destroy that pristine beard if
Never.
you want to look like Shaggy.
I've tried. It just can't be done.
Yeah, like is it
It's kind of like King Arthur with the sword and the stone. You know, it's like
it's just like it
I can't
be
do it.
removed.
Yeah.
You can't like it's just you take a razor to the beard and it just breaks.
Yeah,
on
yeah. The razor
impact.
breaks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
this
dangerous.
And this movie has the famous Courtney Cox, which we all know from the Friends TV show and Pet Detective.
Man, have you seen her face lately?
Like, dude,
You mean this picture? This is the one downside about doing this on a podcast. We can't just hold it up to a camera. You mean this?
yeah,
That
you
is
mean
not
this
Courtney
picture?
Cox, no.
Yeah, and the hilarious David Arquette as Dewey, dude, Dewey in this, he's so funny. Here's the thing though, I feel like Dewey could be the comic relief of this whole thing.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
but then
he-
100%.
But then over the series, doesn't he become like the main cop who's constantly chasing Ghostface?
Yeah, like it's so funny. He has an amazing arc throughout the 5 films right now, where it's like he starts off as the comic relief that he's the funny guy, but over the films he progressively becomes this hardened like veteran, like he's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, like I haven't seen Screams 3 through 5, so I can't put my sense on anything in that, but definitely he works as the comic relief in this character and still a very fun cop character.
Yeah, it's very awesome. And Courtney Cox plays Gail Weathers, who is a reporter who gets a lot of negativity, her character anyway, throughout this film. Like,
And it's so hard for us to like try to talk about this because just like we're trying to talk about her and put her in a bad light, when the three of us are news people.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on,
She
we got
plays her-
Will here.
But we're
who's
not
our-
like her, man. Come
No,
on.
we're not going out and doing very invasive
Well,
reporting.
She's
It
way
was-
more vain than I am.
Oh yeah, it's like Sydney was just attacked. They're taking her out to the squad car. She's breathing down her neck with the microphone.
Yeah.
Like Sydney just turns around and just socks her out cold. One hit right in the face.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, it
Us
was
doing that,
so
that is
funny.
how you lose your job.
Yeah. Oh man, that was hilarious.
But
And
she sold like 1 million books in the like later ones, right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
And Nev Campbell, of course, plays the brilliant Sidney Prescott. And the other characters in this, we have. I might need your guys' help with this one. Is it Skeet Ulrich?
Skeet Ulrich, yeah.
Skeet
Who,
Ulrich,
who
yeah.
plays Billy Loomis, who turns out to be the second killer. You have Matthew Leonard as Stu. And we have Rose
McGowan.
McGowan.
as Tatum Riley.
Or we could just call her Rose Magoo.
Rose
Yeah.
McGoo.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you right now, her death scene in this, when she tried crawling through the doggy door, through
Yeah.
the garage door, dude, that, oh my gosh, that was
Like-
horrific.
Who
Like-
thought of that one? That's great. though.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's meant to be like how people who are trying to escape in horror movies
True.
do stupid things.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, why is her instinct to go through the doggy door when it's not like you're in a garage? There are weapons. You can fall back. He cannot lock. The door is closed. He cannot lock it from the inside. So back up, grab a long-hitting weapon, and then just position around, get your back to the door, and hightail it.
Well, I thought it was so funny how like she goes downstairs to get beers, and it's like how she thinks a friend's pulling a prank on her. She's like, "Oh, don't kill me, Ghostface! I want to be in the sequel." Oh, it's so funny. Then when she realizes it's the real thing, she's trying to kill her. She just starts chugging the beer bottles at him.
Yeah.
Like that was hilarious.
That was the most tragic thing, the wasting of the beer.
Yeah, just that beautiful beer gone to waste.
I promise I'm not an alcoholic.
Oh man, you just turned 21, didn't you? I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, but the party's not until tomorrow night.
Dude,
Yeah.
parties all the time, Aiden.
Yeah,
What you talking about?
we always
except
party.
Life's a party!
Except I get paid tomorrow.
You get paid to party? That's awesome.
Exactly.
And while we're on the topic of characters, I gotta talk about one of my favorite characters in this, Randy, played by the legendary Jamie Kennedy.
Are you just gonna say the legendary after every actor?
Like everybody in
Is
this,
Jamie
like
Kennedy legendary?
I
Yeah,
think he
honestly,
is in this movie.
In this
like,
movie,
I guess
but what else has he been in besides the Scream?
Uh,
Son of the Mask. Oh, sweet Lord,
Oh,
have
yeah,
mercy.
that was
He
pretty legendary.
He was also in the Trimmers 5 and 6. He did those. Those went straight to DVD. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and then
So he's legendary for being in crappy movies, I guess.
Yeah.
he was in the Hungover Games.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I didn't mean to say it like that. It's just I was talking about his character.
Wait, he was in
specifically.
Fanboy and
Right, yeah.
Chum Chum? What?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
He has a
It was-
very weird.
It was a
film
terrible Nickelodeon cartoon that ran it when I was a kid. So like in the, I believe,
Oh.
early to late early 2010s. So it went from 2009 to 2012.
I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah.
You didn't miss much. You didn't
just
miss
like-
anything.
Randy, I feel like if we had, if Aiden and I ran a horror movie, I feel like we would all be Randy. You know what I mean? Because he's the big movie lover. He understands what's going
Does that
on.
mean Will is going to be Billy?
Oh no.
Oh man. Well, I was gonna tell you guys. I was gonna save it for later in the podcast, but I am Billy.
Oh my gosh! I
Oh.
never would have guessed.
Oh God. He's pulling out a knife. He's pulling out a
Aiden,
knife.
could you please go through that doggy door in the garage behind us?
Yes, if you can point out where that doggy door is in here.
You know where it is.
I
man.
think it's over here. I think it's that way.
Sorry, nope. That's the bookshelf.
But yeah, so now that we've gone through the characters, I gotta ask you guys, favorite scene. What is it?
Go ahead.
Oh, that's on the spot.
All right.
I mean, no. Let's think about it. Honestly, the opening scene is.
Like, here's the thing. I
What
have
scenes,
I have two favorite scenes, and for one is the opening scene because that is the scariest scene.
Oh,
of the
without a
film.
doubt.
Like
iconic opening.
I'm not downing the rest of the film as not being scary. Just that one is a different degree. It's like it has a nice slow burn as things keep ramping up. As like
Yeah.
it seems to start off as a bit of like an innocent misstyle. then like the recalls is all when he calls back, you're starting to get just a little uncomfortable, just like you don't want to recall someone you misdialed, but then it starts to go with innocent conversations. Then as she's trying to end the conversation, he keeps coming back. Then it goes to being a downright threat. It's just don't hang up on me.
Mm-hmm.
Then straight up horror when he reveals that he's outside and he has her boyfriend.
That scene was crazy. For
Dude, the craziest part for me though, it's like she's like, I'll call the cops, and he's like, they won't make it to you in time.
Yeah.
You know, like,
honestly, it's a terrifying thing. It's just the fact that it's honestly kind of true, because when you call the cops, not only do you have to wait for the call, but you have to wait for them to get there.
exactly.
Aiden, have you been plotting out something?
No.
Man.
He had like
Been
Will.
thinking
He
a lot
has
about that,
he's
huh?
threatened me a couple of times. I wouldn't put it past. he just pats me on the shoulder. Don't worry.
Is that real leather? Wow.
Wait,
I don't know.
I don't know.
no, I touched this.
Okay,
This ain't
so-
real leather.
Okay, so a little context for you. Will and I keep comparing our jackets before we started recording.
Yeah, we have the brown worn one on DJ
Like,
Apollo,
yeah.
and Will the nice clean cut black
Well,
leather. who
every
looks
time
like-
I see DJ Apollo, he's got this jacket, and I love it. So, you know. When,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's just-
mine's
your-
kind of. Yeah, go ahead.
like your bike looks like you have a Harley parked right in the parking lot.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. Like, all you need is the sunglasses, and I'm convinced you're a Terminator.
Well, DJ Apollo is dark out there. I wouldn't be able to see.
Oh, true.
Well, the Terminator could.
Yeah, the Terminator wears them because of his red vision.
Hold on, what movie are we talking about?
Oh, we jump all over
Oh
the
no,
place.
Aiden, you're taking us off track. I have a script.
You have a script. I wasn't told of this.
Wait, you
Don't
had
listen to them. I have a script up.
He's had
Don't
a
listen to
script
them.
this whole time, and I've been making this up on the spot.
Right? So now he looks like the smart guy. and
Yeah,
we
he looks like the
bumbling
smart guy
idiots.
when I'm the one who makes this podcast.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, taking credit for my work.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. I 100% am.
All right, Aiden, you know what? I'm sorry, man. So anyway, guys, Scream. My favorite. So personally, though, my favorite scene in this is when Randy goes over the rules. Right? They're having the
Yes.
party at the iconic house, and like they're watching the original Halloween. Matthew Leonard's character, Stu, right? Stu's like, when do I see Jamie Lee Curtis's breasts? Randy's like, you don't see them. She's a virgin. Why do you think she survived the movie? And he's like, what are you talking about? Randy's like, okay, guys, pause the movie, get stuff. Guys, there are rules, okay, to surviving a horror movie. Want to go ahead and start it?
The first rule, and the most important rule of all, you can never have sex.
Boo.
Sex is a big
that
no-no.
is not the first rule.
No, that is literally the rule he says.
Man.
Yeah, that is the
And-
first
No.
It was like, you cannot have sex if you want to live.
If you want
if
to
you want to live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I think rule 2 was no drugs, no drinking.
Yep.
And they were all at a party.
Yeah,
They
they're
were
all,
all
like, boo,
drinking.
they're all raising the cups,
Yeah, yeah.
right? It's like, and number 3, most importantly, never say you're gonna be right back, because you won't be right
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
Then Stu gets up and leaves. I'm gonna go get another beer. You want one? Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back. God, that scene is so awesome. And dude, while we're talking about that scene, right? So after everybody else leaves, because Ghostface attacked the principal at the high school, and he was hanging from one of the football things on the field. So everybody
So
leaves.
creative.
Yeah, so everybody leaves to go check that out. Like Randy and a few others stay behind. So Randy's on the couch watching the movie still. Gail
Randy is my spirit animal.
yeah, literally. And then, like, Gail put a camera in the living room earlier before the party started. So she's watching all this from her van.
And that's
like,
an invasion of privacy.
yeah, and, like, Ghostface is right behind Randy. Randy's watching Halloween. He's like, Lori, turn around. He's right there.
Yeah.
While Ghostface is right behind.
Right.
Like, the parallels.
It's
you know.
the exact example as to how this film is meta. Like, he is referencing what you should be doing in that instance, while he is also not doing it.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Now, guys, I gotta be honest with you. Regarding the story itself, when you watched this for the very first time, when the killers were identified, did it genuinely surprise you? Or did
Like,
you think it was them?
I was not completely surprised by Bill. I was surprised by Stu.
Oh, really?
Like, the only... Because as opposed... Like, Billy throughout the whole film has a bit of an uneasiness around him. But Stu really only has one scene with that easiness, and then when they're outside at school and they talk about like how you kill someone with a knife.
Yeah, and he starts going into it, and then like
but here's the thing: by this point in the film, you've honestly kind of forgotten about that scene because so much more has happened. While Bill is still, he has a lot of things that give you just a bit of uneasiness and kind of leads you to not fully trust him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the whole time you're focusing on, at least for me, when I watch a horror film or whatever, and I'm trying to figure out the mystery, I'm only focusing on one person at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see that knife scene, you're like, oh, well, maybe it's him. You automatically discount the other person you were thinking about before.
Yeah.
And then that continues throughout the movie. So it's
Yeah.
like, when there were two people there,
Like, it's just a thing,
it
like,
blew my mind, man.
It's a thing of, like, making a good mystery. It's just, there are multiple subjects and there are multiple scenes that incriminate someone, so you're constantly switching
Right.
back and forth, and then, you go to one person, then you forget about the other one.
But the chances of getting one right is better than getting two right.
Oh, yeah,
Especially if you
definitely.
don't expect it. So
Because there is no inclination in any way that there are two
Right.
killers. Like you can, like, if you were fully set on the idea that, and it was also a way to throw us off of Bill being the killer when he appears in the window seconds after
Yeah.
Ghostface disappears from Sydney's house. So you're just like, he
can't be him.
Can't be him. He can't change that fast. But then you still don't fully trust him.
Right.
And then it's revealed both he's the killer. So then, like, when it's revealed, you're just like, wait, but then how did he do that?
Yeah.
Then the second twist, Stu is also a killer.
And you know, there's a little detail in this film that I didn't notice. So there's a scene, right, where Stu's actually at a locker in the background. If you pay attention, he's putting makeup on his face from when he attacked Sydney at her house earlier because she kicked him in the face. So he's putting, like, makeup on to cover the bruise.
Wow.
I never noticed
Yeah,
that.
like, I follow a Scream fan page on Facebook, and somebody, like, posted a picture of that exact scene. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it all makes sense now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, the
like-
little clues were kind of there, so you really gotta, like, pay
Like,
attention.
that's one
you
of
know,
the
like-
things that I like about this film is it's not just relying on its meta references and humor in the film, but it's genuinely a good murder mystery that's thinking about who the killer is. It's not like one of those random twists that's just like, but it was this person all along.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we made it seem like it was one person, but nope, it's actually the other guy.
100%.
So regarding the story itself, how did you guys feel about the whole, like, side plot about Sydney's mom and Cotton? How did you feel about that? Because, like, it was even, like, it's been a hot minute since I've seen it last. I remember not being mentioned very much because that's touched upon more in the second one.
Well,
That's
I
like
feel
one of
like-
the main points.
I feel like if it were to be mentioned more, it would clue you in maybe a little bit more. So
Yeah, like, it would kind of give away too much of the plot because, like, it's also meant to be like Sydney's mother and her death. It's not a completely healed wound, but
Sure.
Sydney and her father have mostly relatively moved on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you constantly bring it up, it clues you in on who the killer is.
True. Okay. Because watching that, I was kind of thinking, like, does it feel necessary to the story of that little, like,
Well-
B plot, if you will?
Well, you kind of always, like, most horror films want to have, like, there's a reason this person is
Right.
being targeted, because what's honestly a lot scarier is the idea that it's a random crime, but that these people are being hunted, so you think, oh, then maybe it won't happen to me.
Oh, sure.
But then you think
Mm.
of, like, a film, have you guys ever seen the film Strangers?
No, I haven't. I've heard of it. I
So-
haven't seen it.
So, like, the base plot of that film is just it's a home invasion movie where a couple gets invaded by their home gets invaded by three killers. That's the whole plot of the film. But when asked to why are they doing this, one of the killers just straight up says, because you were home. There is no reason. They're just like, they're here,
Right.
let's kill them.
Yeah.
And that's honestly a bit more terrifying. So, and films before this didn't do that. They were in a location that was not entirely safe, like Friday the 13th at the camp, neighborhoods next to a mental asylum, and Halloween, just so on and so forth. So just like makes the viewers just like, well, it's scary, but it won't happen to me.
Yeah, for sure.
I got some news for you guys, though, real quick.
What's up?
If you ever find yourself in a horror movie, you're never safe, so...
Well, yeah,
true.
true.
Yeah, well, true. That's
Whether you know 'em or
that's
not.
why if
Well,
you see
yeah.
a camera following you, if you see a cameraman and crew just following you, trying to make the next Blair Witch project, kill the camera crew and run.
Yeah.
Just straight up kill him.
Just
Yep.
kill him.
Don't
yeah.
ask any questions.
Don't ask any questions.
And if Aiden, if you ever stumble across a garage door with a doggy door in it, it's too
Open
late.
the door.
You're already in the
I'm gonna.
movie,
If
yeah.
I walk into a garage and there's a doggy door on that, I'm opening the garage door.
Yeah, I'm
right
opening
when
the
I walk
garage.
in that room.
Oh, that button's not going to work, man. I'm sorry to tell you.
Okay, well then, I will choose death, but I will try my best to kill the killer. With
You
me.
won't throw the beers. You'll just drink them.
Yes, I'll be getting completely hammered. I'll just be like, oh, hi.
Hey, could you just give me time for a couple
Yeah,
of
yeah.
these?
Here, yeah, you can stab me. Give me like 5 minutes. I want
Yeah.
to chug a
Not
few
even
of
5.
these.
Just give me 1 minute.
Whoa.
Just-
Only a week into 21, and he's already a pro. Look
yeah,
at
he's a pro.
Well, my brother's wedding was a very interesting time.
that.
A COVID
There's got to be
wedding.
video somewhere of that.
Like I don't know if there's I don't know if we took much video of me at the party.
Somebody did on their phone, Aiden. I
Like,
promise.
well, here's the thing. It's just because there wasn't as big of a crowd because my brother got married in January of 21, so still in the height of COVID. So
Gotcha.
there were only, I believe, 20 of us there in total.
Oh,
So
okay.
bride and groom's party, there were 6 of us in each. So that's 12. Bride, Allison, my brother.
DJ Paul is like, I'm loving this wedding story right now.
Yeah. Well, he's actually he's told me this already before.
Yes, like considering, look, I am 19. Yeah, I'm 18 at the time, and my
Self-incrimination.
yes, I self-incriminate myself. I'm already 21. You can't charge me for that.
Yeah.
But
Just to clarify.
yeah, but
Jeez, just took a dark turn, DJ Paulo.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's just like, but like Aiden, you wouldn't have survived a horror movie. You drank.
Yeah.
yes, but surviving in the horror movie is never fun because then you're traumatized for the rest of your life.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. That's what I found so funny though about
Nobody really
sequel-
survives, huh?
No one truly survives.
That's what I always
unless
found-
the killer gets away.
That's what I always found funny about sequels, like Scream 2. Sydney's like all happy and joyful when it's only been like a year or
Yeah.
two after the
no,
events
I
of this one.
would be having intense nightmares. over
Like
that
she's
crap.
at college.
She's at college.
new
It's
boyfriend-
like literally months.
yeah.
Yeah, because she was a senior. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was like, I think 17, right? So she's like, I don't know, probably halfway through being 18. She just graduated high school, starting college, acting like nothing happened. Oh, life is generous. All my friends and my boyfriend were killed right in front of me, and my boyfriend was actually a psychopathic killer.
Well-
Other than that,
Oh, and don't forget, she killed her boyfriend.
Yeah, I
And-
know.
And she killed Stu.
dude, can we please talk about the finale though? Like Sydney goes beast mode in the finale, using their own tactics against them with the phone. And she's hiding in the closet, wearing the costume, comes out with an umbrella and stabs Stu with it.
And
Like
what was that umbrella made of?
Like what? Like she used the tip. Like what was that made out of? Like
Maybe she was a ninja that had super placement.
yeah, exactly. I don't
Yeah, 'cause
know.
I'm just like, I don't know what material that she can make that an umbrella will be made out of, since it doesn't come to any point that she.
I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of like tactile strength, right? If it's just like
Yeah,
pushed
but
straight through.
well, but also it's just like I don't remember how big it was, but still like a straight hole about like that big, but it's flat and smooth. It's not going to be able to break skin. It's not really going to be able to break skin.
there's only one way to find out, Aiden.
yeah. Today on
I,
MythBusters.
I nominate DJ Apollo as our test dummy
DJ Apollo.
Why me though?
because I'm the one who carries the podcast.
Listen,
I can't
when
die.
when I was talking about possibly trying out stuntman work, this wasn't what I had in mind.
Yet, here's the thing: the only thing for that project you're doing is getting your head slammed on a table.
Oh, sounds fun though.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
So
working on a project
so.
with a couple of our
Sorry, I
friends.
missed that.
Okay, so little context here. I've been volunteered to help a friend film a
No,
video.
you haven't been volunteered. I couldn't do it because Drew and I are doing our projects at the same time, and so I asked you to fill in for me, and you said yes.
Okay, yeah,
So, he volunteered.
Yeah, so this is what friends do, you know, and I'm like, hey, it's our chance to act. Like, come on, how could you say no? And like, I could, you know, be a cool little side character. I could be,
Yes, with no spoken dialogue.
I can be the Stu of this movie.
Except Stu had spoken dialogue. You don't say a word. You just get your head slammed on a table and your wrist broken.
Who's slamming your head on the table?
One of my friends, Logan.
There's gonna be padding, right, Chris? I mean,
Oh God, no! We can't afford padding.
Well, it's like I'm going all in on this. I'm be like, you know what? I actually want you to straight
What,
out
are you
just
going full
smack
Heath
my head.
Ledger from Dark Knight?
Yeah, Christian, I want you to actually sock me in the face. I want the authenticity. Oh my gosh. It's just it's like that's like Matthew being like, okay, Nev, I actually want you to stab me with that umbrella. I want that authenticity. I want it to be as real.
I want to actually be impaled. Please do it.
that'd be going all out for the art, huh?
Yeah, they're
That's
going
true
all
method
out.
acting.
Wow.
True God tier method.
Man, Denzel
acting.
never did that stuff, man. Come on.
Now, I gotta ask you guys this though. So, regarding the film as a whole, do you think it could have been improved in any way?
I'm gonna say no.
No.
So you don't think there's anything you would have done, like story-wise, any like rewriting or
Well,
change any of the characters?
Like, I do write horror and psychological films for my projects and work that I do, but this isn't the type of horror that I do, so I'm not as knowledgeable as how I would do it, but everything that I expect out of a horror movie like this film hits.
Oh yeah, it gets it all like correctly, you know. It's like I feel like what I like about this movie, I feel like in real life, if there were killers, right, who were like obsessed with scary movies, that's how they would be. It's like
they're making their own scary movie just in the real
world, yeah. And that's what, and honestly, and for the finale, spoiler alert, that's what this all was. These two guys, Stu and what's the other guy's
Bill.
name? And Bill watched way too many movies, so they became obsessed. They're like, let's just do our own. So they come up with their own, you know,
And literally,
thing.
Stu says, and we're going to survive, because then we're going to make a sequel, because in this day, you gotta have sequels.
Yeah, exactly.
And God,
I
that
love-
line
that was a
didn't
good
age
one.
well.
Yeah, it
well,
didn't.
Well, no, it's not that it didn't age well. It's just like, now all you get are sequels.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
The fact that they've made a new entire trilogy to Halloween, and each one is like, tonight evil dies. And then the next one comes out 2 years later.
Yeah.
And then tonight evil dies. And then now for the new one, Halloween, the end, only one of us will survive the night. And we all know both
This
of
is
them.
a whole nother podcast, Aiden.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And like, while we're talking sequels, though, Scream, though, I'm telling you right now, the sequels are all very strong contenders. Like the new one, Scream 5, it actually, dude, for a fifth installment, though, it did an amazing job.
Haven't
And-
seen it, can't say anything about
Well,
that.
yeah, we'll have to watch it sometime. But yeah, the fifth one I thought was incredible. And the reason why I bring up the fifth one a lot, it paid so much homage to the original,
Right.
you know? Like, it was fan service in, like, the most respectful, best way possible. It's like, if you've seen the original, you're going to love this, you know? And Wes Craven, I feel like if he was still alive, he'd seen that. He would have been so proud, you know?
I mean, the only problem I see and saw, because I've seen it, is that you know that there's that twist, right? So, but besides that, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was a very good Scream.
Yeah, very. And like 25 years later, guys, I gotta be honest with you, this film holds up very well. Personally, I think it gets better the older it
Like-
gets. I think it's more
like-
relevant now than it
like,
was at its release.
The big thing that I love is just, it's the fact that the thing I love about older films is how much of it was practical effects, when nowadays too much of movies just rely solely on CG.
Yeah, that's true.
But when this film, all practical, like using like for like if someone gets shot, using a squib, and having blood packs in for stabbings and whatnot, and it feels more real and it works
Definitely.
better.
Oh yeah, it really did.
And thankfully, no claymation, so.
Oh yeah.
no claymation.
And hey, just think, it doesn't need to be over the top with its gore. It's not
Right.
like the Saw franchise.
Well, because it could lean back on its story, too, you know?
exactly,
so.
like that's the thing that's like with Saw. It's just like it doesn't have that strong of a story because it was just like, let's just be as twisty and as ridiculous.
For
as
the
humanly
record, I
possible.
hate all Saws, so.
Oh yeah, like I watched them just to see how ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I found the idea of the traps really cool. But so I would literally just watch the trap scenes, but I would skip the rest of the
Right,
movie.
right. Well, you could just YouTube that, huh?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
why do you think I never paid for them?
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
I literally just would go up.
Tips and tricks from Aiden.
Yes, Saw film Traps. I'm just like, yep, that's all I'm gonna do. That's all I'm gonna do.
And then you're like, mom sees your YouTube history. She's like, we might have a problem.
You're on a watch list somewhere.
Yeah.
Just like the FBI's keeping tabs on you.
I already know this.
Oh, man.
I'm surprised Kelly hires me.
Whoa, here we go.
Like, Kelly hires me as a news
boy.
reporter, and I'm likely on a federal watch
We got to
list.
get your own podcast.
No,
Aiden
we
talks
haven't-
about everything bad in his life.
No, we've literally talked about this, of trying to make a separate podcast from this, but where we literally just go rated R, so I will literally say everything known to man.
Yeah, like, Will, you should have been here for the Ghostbusters review.
Oh,
Like,
God.
I'm over here talking. I look over. Aiden's biting his hand,
Yeah,
trying.
there's not-
He's like, "Urgh, I want to make jokes, but I can't do it." You know? I never seen him struggle so hard ever.
That's why we have editing software.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like, we don't want to do it where where it's just, like, when I go off on a tangent, it's literally just, it's not like beep, 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 it's just
Flatline.
for
Yeah.
3 whole
Sorry,
minutes.
guys. Aiden's stuck in a garage door.
Yeah, literally.
No, it's just like, sorry, we're gonna have to escort you out of the premises, and then I get pulled out for excessive dirty talks.
Yeah, and
That could be the name of your podcast. Excessive Dirty Talks.
I'm sorry, I would. That'd be funny, but I don't think anyone would listen to that.
So I gotta be honest with you guys. I got a good question to ask you. When you watched this movie for the very first time, how did you feel by the end of it? What were your first thoughts ever?
I literally just, it was one of the films where I didn't, like, go, okay, that was good. I literally sat, I was just like, wow, that was actually a really good movie.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. Like, at the end of it, I turned over to my mom and I was just like, that was awesome. You know, like, I felt like an adrenaline rush going through me. I'm like, man, that was so good. You know, like, what are your thoughts, Will?
Yeah, I mean, I remember thinking that was crazy good, just as far as like what I was expecting, because this is one of the first horror movies I've ever seen. So
this was where you started, right? This is what introduced you to the genre.
I mean, probably because I don't think I was young, so I wasn't watching like supernatural horror or anything like that really.
Mm-hmm.
But I had heard that it was a good movie, so I checked it out, and I don't think I knew what to expect. But
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like, same when I watched this, I was still pretty new into horror. I first found out about the Scream movies because I first watched the parody of this movie, a scary movie.
Yeah, because I was
which-
going to ask you, because Aiden and I were talking about this before the recording, and like so you got introduced to this movie because you were watching the parody first.
Yes, and the parody is absolutely hilarious, and it follows the plot and just makes ridiculous changes and whatnot.
Mhm,
But
yeah.
it's still such a good watch. I highly recommend it.
if you're gonna watch any of the scary movies, that'd be the one.
yes, like
Which one was it?
the first
first.
one.
Oh, the first
Yeah.
one.
Like
Okay.
the second, third, and fourth one were okay, but the joke, like the first one has its really good balance of over the top and humor, and still kind of like following the plot lines
Right.
and whatnot, and having its own plot line. The sequels just get ridiculous and ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the third one literally includes The Ring, 8 Mile,
Right.
The Happening, all in one movie. I'm just like, what?
Well, I'm pretty sure the first one also did a little of I Know What You Did Last Summer,
Yeah,
but that was
but that
where it
was
ended.
no, but that wasn't even for a real like bit. That was just for a
That scene?
That was just a single sketch
Right.
scene, just to be like, who's the killer? And then they just bring up I Know What You Did Last Summer, as it was just a
Yeah.
stupid thing. It's just like, who would know what they did?
Right.
Like, who watched what
No,
they?
my favorite part is like, oh my god, we hit a boot, and then somebody else is like, well, where's the foot?
Yeah, like it's just,
I was like-
it was so
Where's the
funny.
foot?
Yeah.
Then there was just the fact that end scene makes Sydney more of like a fighter, is the fact that she goes full kung fu on Ghostface in that movie. Lily has a full scene where she just stands in the
yeah.
air.
Oh, The Matrix.
Yeah, she goes full
Matrix.
Never
Matrix.
mind. Yeah, there are a lot of film references, aren't there?
Yeah, but like I said, it's just referencing other films when like they have like in the sequels they have full other plot
Right,
lines
right.
and from
I'm with you.
films. Like I also take like Scary Movie 5 includes
lost
Mama,
me, Aiden.
Paranormal Activity, and Black Swan.
Yeah, I stopped pretty much at halfway through the first one. No, I'm just kidding. I think I watched that full one.
Yeah, like the only ones that I've watched to completion was 1, 3, and 5. I watched a bit of 2. I have not seen 4.
You're a prime numbers guy, huh?
Yes, I am. Yes, like when I'm in my car and I have the volume, always put it on a prime number.
All right, now that's just getting weird.
No, try, like that's just, I was just making the joke at the moment, but my brother in high school actually had a friend who would not listen to radio unless it was on an even number. I wish I was lying about that.
Well, what are they going to do? Jump out of the car when it's rolling?
He would literally just be like, can you turn it up or down just a smidge?
So, guys, you talking about all this has a brilliant idea. A killer where it's like, what's your favorite radio station?
WEIU Newswatch.
Wait,
that would be
that's not a radio. I was going to say hit mix, right? I mean, come on.
No.
No.
And what I'll do is I'll think of like a set of questions. It's like, what year did DJ Apollo do his DJing? What years?
That'd be pretty
1995.
Wrong.
Are you talking
It
about
was
the original
2020.
DJ Apollo or you?
Yeah. I'm like, what years was DJ Apollo at the station? What years?
What year were you born?
99.
1999.
How many times has DJ Apollo put on the party pants?
Never.
The answer's never. Listen here, jerk. You got it wrong. It was 3, not 0.
I knew DJ Apollo. I think I know the right answer to that.
What does he win?
Good question though.
Yeah,
I'll get back to you
some
on
Skittles.
that. it's just a it's just like it's just
way insulting the fact that these Skittles are my dinner tonight.
Hey, I love Skittles, man. I'm not.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a good idea to just like we finish the news broadcast and
Yeah.
come here and
Dude.
just like I don't have time for food, so I'm just
Just
go to
consider
the
it like a pick me up, not a
Yeah.
actual
But
meal.
still,
Pick me up.
Skittles is a pick me up.
I was like,
Delicious,
the
man.
entire
Taste the rainbow.
the entire recording. I'm just like I'm talking with Will, right? I just hear the crinkling of the Skittles bag.
I was wondering why your mouth is salivating so much.
Oh man, hey guys, I gotta ask you though. Like another question for Scream for all you. What do you think was the best kill in this? Like,
I mean, the one that well,
opening
go ahead.
kill.
Yeah, I was
oh,
gonna
the
say,
opening kill. You
That's the
think?
one that sticks out.
Like, you see, the part that really stuck out to me was like how real it felt. You know, like this girl was just so hopeless
Right.
and she couldn't do anything. And the worst part for me though was when the parents saw her body hanging from the tree.
Uh-huh.
The mom just falls straight on the ground,
Yeah.
just bawling, and the husband's like trying to cover. Like, imagine you're going over to see your daughter and you see that. It's just like, dude, it's screwed up.
Like, 'cause
you
it's
know,
not just like she was stabbed and killed in a home invasion. It's just like, oh no, someone took the time to put her on display.
And it's just like the phone was still on when she was being dragged away. You just hear on the other end. You're just hearing her, just like
Also,
slowly dying.
Can we acknowledge the longest phone cord in history?
Like, yeah, like how the
What's
tree.
a phone cord?
Well, yeah, like phone cords, huh? That's a thing,
I'm not that young.
dude. I felt like, dude, I was talking to mom, right? I didn't know they still made these, but like when she puts that popcorn bag on the oven, where it's like it's
Yeah.
a it's
On
a
the stove, yeah.
they still make those.
I would want to try one of those.
Honestly,
'cause-
yeah. Like I don't do stuff like that. Like here at school, since I don't have anything else, naturally I use just regular microwave. But when I'm at home, we put the kernels in a pot and put salt and seasonings in there to make our own popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I think a very horrific kill for me was the one we didn't see, though. Like, can you imagine, like, they gutted the principal, and he's hanging out in the football field with the lights on. I feel like, you see, we didn't physically see that. We just hear him talk about it.
Oh, okay. I was
think-
gonna say because I don't remember that scene.
Yeah,
but
if
it
that's what I'm
wasn't.
saying, though. It's like, Randy gets a phone call, and he tells everybody at the
Right.
party, right?
The principal's been killed. He was disemboweled and he's hanging over the football post.
Okay.
And then everybody runs off to go see it. I just imagine how horrifying that must have looked. Because it's the most horrifying of the things we don't see, though. You know what I mean?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Because the mind thinks of,
Right.
pretty bad things.
Right.
Oh yeah, like the things I'm thinking of, I'm not even gonna mention.
Like
Yeah.
the way you're murdering those Skittles over there.
Yeah, like those poor
Do you want-
Skittles.
do you want-
What did they do to you, Aiden?
You want some?
Listen,
No, I'm good.
I get taste the rainbow, but
Well,
Dude.
you have to chase a rainbow somewhere because I can't chase a rainbow and go eat it.
Well, in this instant, regarding this movie, that rainbow is straight red. There is no other colors but the color of blood. Do you guys have any other remarks regarding the movie?
Masterpiece. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
I was going to ask you guys, though, as the final question, if someone came to you, should I see Scream?
Yes.
How would you convince them to watch it? What would you say to them?
Go watch an actual good horror movie.
I would say this movie's meta. It's aged extremely well, and it's worth your time, and it's an oddly satisfying movie. What do you think, Will?
I would tell them, you better watch it, or I'll put you in that dog door in the garage.
Yes!
And also,
Yes!
here's I just love the fact that you give the actual insightful, just it's such an insightful movie. I just go, it's actually good. Go see it.
Yeah.
And Will's like, I'm just gonna kill you if you
Yeah.
don't do it.
Oh, that was
I'm
I'm not killing
awesome.
anyone. Come on.
Yeah,
actually,
Will.
I thought I was
yeah.
the serial killer on
But
this
seriously,
podcast.
I'm not gonna scare people away by saying meta. I'm just gonna be like,
It's actually good.
check it out. Yeah, I don't know how to. I mean, it really was trend setting and
Oh yeah,
first of
definitely.
its kind. You know.
And you also think just how much the idea of being a very meta film inspired another one of my favorite horror movies, Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, true. It kind of It basically spurred all of
How
my
just,
favorite
how,
movies from the 2000s.
the idea of being a bit meta with your film
Mm-hmm.
can actually work.
Yeah, because that's a very good fact you bring up. Because I think weren't you and I me and my teacher Drew were talking about this the other day. Every movie you've ever seen all took inspiration from something else. You know what I mean? Something came out that led to all these different
Here's the thing,
branches.
with
you know,
how far we are in history and how long creating stories has been around, there is no such thing nowadays as a 100% original film. It will always take inspiration. It will have something in it inspired by something else.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the Scream movie, for example. I feel like you can't make a scary movie now without some kind of reference to Scream. You know?
Yeah,
There's got to be in
even then,
some
Scream,
way.
The only thing that was really original about it was the idea of its meta approach to it. Other than that, it's a very traditional slasher film,
Yeah.
and it's not like that's bad, but it's also not what Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Nightmare on Elm Street becomes like. Can you name any of the characters in any Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, or Halloween?
Johnny Depp.
Actual characters, not their
No, I'm pretty sure his name was Johnny Depp in the movie.
lovely.
But yeah, you see, I find myself remembering the cast in this movie a lot better than those other projects.
Exactly.
You know?
It's just because it's the killer is iconic, but it's not like in those films when it's basically become you're rooting for the killer. It's just how's
Yeah,
Freddy gonna kill
that's
him?
true,
How's Jason
man.
gonna kill him? How's Michael's gonna kill him? It's all about are they gonna get out of this?
Yeah, exactly. You want Sydney and her friends to live. You know,
Well, you root for what's her face in Halloween,
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, Laurie Strode.
right?
Now you see now that we're talking about female leads, I gotta ask you guys. So if you had to make a tier list, right, for scary movie leads, female wise, final girls, where would you rate Sydney? Where would she be on the list? For me, I think I'd put her at second place. Laurie Strode, then her. My third place would have to be. Gotta think for third place. I'm thinking Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley. She's number 3. Those are my top 3.
For me, I put Sydney at number 3. Number 1 will go to Ripley, and number 2 goes to Tomlinson from The Witch in 2016.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. What do you think, Will?
Man, I'm gonna have to put Sydney at number 1
Oh yeah.
because her character, I mean, she was, she killed the killer, so she was super strong, but
Ripley
she's also
space genocide the xenomorph, and then in the second one killed the
yeah,
alien
but she was
queen.
supposed to kill him. She was a freaking
Yeah.
Well, no,
alien
only
killer.
in the second one was she supposed to be an alien killer. The first one, it was just trying to get off the ship.
Yeah, but she wasn't dating the alien. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay,
she
yeah,
didn't
like,
lose
I'll
her
give you
virginity
that.
to the alien.
Yeah, like Will, I think I get where you're coming from, right? It's like Sydney didn't ask for any of this. She
Well,
was
there's
just
a
kind of
vulnerability too. Like she was complex, you know, and like
yeah, like this just it's like it just happened. Like she didn't want to be in this whatsoever, but like she's honestly, in my opinion, a very good role model for young women because like she saved the day, dude. She didn't get any help from anyone. It's all her. Like, I thought she was a strong female lead done in the best way possible. I thought it was great. The way, like, the final fight at the end with her versus the killers was so amazing. And it felt so real to me. So I get 100% where you're coming from.
Well,
with that.
it's like a survival story in the truest form where your life's on the line, but also, like, emotionally, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot of baggage that she had.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like, you
Yeah,
know, with the
definitely.
whole like mom situation,
Right.
and finding out, you know, she's been dating the killer the
Exactly.
entire time. You know,
Exactly.
like
Yeah, talk about a great way to break up. Just like, oh my god, you're the killer.
yeah. Here's the thing, though. It's like, I don't know. Part of me wonders if the movie was trying to make it obvious that her boyfriend was the killer. Like, he had a few moments where kind of like, that's kind of creepy.
Like-
you know what I
like-
mean? Like,
Like I said, I think like they weren't being terribly nuanced about the fact that there's something off about Billy. But like they make you question, can he be the killer when he appears just after Ghostface leaves Sydney's house?
true. That's very true.
So like it makes the viewer think that it's just like, well, maybe it can't be him.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about that, but like they set the precedent, right, where it can be more than one killer, but nobody's thinking that
Yeah, like
No.
when you're watching.
like
that.
they like you can always think like because when someone's like has little identifying marks as Ghostface, multiple people can wear the mask. It's why it's also a good persona that can pass on in the sequels of Scream. It's just like there's no identifying features of Ghostface other than the fact of the male voice.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyone can be under the mask.
And you see that's the other thing, right? That's the other thing I think why this story works so well is that literally anyone can play him. You know, and I find that so amazing. It's kind of like with the Spider-Man, for example. Anyone can wear that costume. You know, and I love that a
Well,
lot.
in Spider-Man, you have to have spider powers. In Scream, you just have to be able to use a knife.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, fair enough. And so I'm going to backpedal for a minute. I didn't get to ask this question, but so when you guys are watching this for the very first time, who did you ever have a moment where you're like, okay, I'm convinced it's him? You know what I mean? Where it's like,
Right.
On
did you
first-
like on first walkthrough? Were you convinced it was this person, only to find out it was never that person?
No, because I don't like to watch films where the whole time I'm just thinking, who's the killer? Oh, 100% it's that one. I don't care anything else because I'm just like, that ruins the film because I'm just like, I'm always thinking, could be, maybe, I don't know. Then when it's done, they're just like, oh, then then it makes rewatching it a second time so much better. It's just like, oh, there's every detail they put in that this person was the killer.
Yeah, that is very true. Like, any final remarks on that, Will?
Yeah, I will say I remember like rewatching it and being like, just for that purpose, you know, to just see if they like dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's on the not, you know, giving it away, but yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I'm telling you right now, this is the most fun I've had yet. It's so awesome to have Will on and have my buddy Aiden back on again. Because my favorite part about this is just getting all these different people on. Because I love hearing different perspectives from people on why they like certain movies. I find it so
You know,
fascinating.
At some point, we got to do one where we bring someone on who completely disagrees with at least the opinion of just like we can say, oh, this is a really good movie, and have one of us just being, I absolutely hated this movie.
Yeah. I mean,
Bring Preston on and do the Batman or the Dark Knight.
Oh, that would be a heated debate. We have very different opinions regarding that movie. But yeah, so I just want to say thank you, Aiden and Will, for being on the show.
Thanks for having us,
It
dude.
was always
Yeah.
a lot of fun coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is DJ Apollo here on the Tales of Music and Film.